Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and today I would like to share a little unpackaging with you guys. And before I do get into this, I want to say thank you to G-Ball Vision. I'm pretty sure he was the individual that recently released a video sharing some super sale that was going on with this knife that piqued my interest when it came out, but quickly was deflated by the price it was released at. But it's like 50% off or something like that. That's pretty wild. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna get it. I think I'm finally gonna get it. So this is not brand spanking new. This is not the latest and greatest release. This is something that's actually been out for a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, but it's now on my channel. So it's something special. The unboxing knife is going to be what I carry today for work. This is the Velocity Acorn. Freaking love this thing with some skiffs. Mind you, this blade has actually been sharpened like 5 freaking times. And just look how good it actually still is. Love using this thing. And the coating on this holds up really, really well. Very pleased with it, absolutely. It's been a minute. It's been a good minute since I've gotten anything from Kizer, realistically, because I would go broke if I ever gave in to all the things that I thought I might like from Kizer. Kizer is a great company. Like that's it, point blank. Kizer's a great company. They put out a lot of cool stuff, but they put out a little too much stuff, and this is a complaint that you probably won't hear from a lot of other people. A lot of their bangers really get overshadowed by just the next run of 20 knives for the 5th drop of the year. I mean, it's pretty insane. Sometimes things stick out, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they hit the mark on the price and really surprise people, sometimes they don't. And well, if you guys didn't know, I'm not made out of money, so I'm not buying every single Kizer that looks cool. There's a lot of them, there definitely are. So typical Kizer packaging, you get a little koala sticker. I don't know when the koala became like synonymous with Kizer, or the other way around. Typical cloth, little production manual, some extra hardware. I love that. I love that Kizer is still doing that. As far as I know, they do it on majority of their models, high or low. I think the last thing I had from Kizer was the Laconic line Porcupine, I believe it was. It was like an ultra budget Warncliffe looking thing. Awesome. Awesome for the money. No longer have it in the collection. But this guy, it is definitely new to me. And what's the name on this? I want to make sure. Just take a look at some of these specs. So 3.34, that's, I'm assuming, the blade. Coniferous, I thought it was carnivorous, but no, it's coniferous V. Justin Gingrich design. I don't think I've ever checked out anything from Mr. Gingrich. I hope I'm saying his last name properly. Probably not. And I apologize. But let's take a look at this thing. Sorry if I'm a little sluggish today. I just got home from work. Another 12-hour freaking shift. I'm exhausted. I'm waiting for that blue collar guy to pop up in the comments and be like, 12 hours, that's it. That's it, 12 hours? I do 36 hours in a day, unpaid, before I start my shift. Oh, wow. Whoa. Yeah, that flipper tab is gone. I do not like that flipper tab at all, but the detent strength is tuned. Oh, wow. That's pretty sweet. Looks a little funky, right? Couple little design elements here that definitely interested me when it first came out, but because of the price. I think it was around $100 or really close to $100. And for what it was, I personally didn't see the value in it at the time, and I wasn't in love with it. So if those things tend to happen where I'm not head over heels for the design, and I don't personally believe that the value is there based off of who's making it and I guess the materials that it's made in, I'm probably not gonna buy it. So I'm really picky, and I have to, because again, I'm not made out of money. But this thing was like just under $50. I think after taxes it was like 53. This is one hell of a knife for that price. And the blade material was 154 cm, which I believe is the traditional ingot style, where you would have the CPM 154, which is suppose a powdered version of much finer grain. So technically sharpening these two would be the same, but at least in my personal experience, when it comes to sharpening 154 cm, it's a great mid-grade budget steel. That's just my opinion, of course. That takes a wonderful toothy edge. Anything past like a 400 grit edge with some stropping just gets a little too slick too fast. That's just been my experience. Let me know down in the comments what you think is a good edge to have for 154 cm, or what are your guys' thoughts on the difference between the two. I constantly see bickering between CPM 154 and 154 cm. I personally can't really feel a whole lot of the difference. I just notice it when it comes to, like, they feel the same when I sharpen them. That's what I mean. But the only thing I notice between the two is one will get a little slicker faster than the other. That's about it. They get to the same sharpness, the same amount of effort put in, but one just gets a little bit slicker than the other. But damn, that action that's wild. I mean, you guys saw I just unboxed this, and that's pretty darn impressive. We all know that if you take apart a knife, clean it, put your own lubricant of choice, it typically gets a little bit better. And with some use and break-in time, it'll get even drop shuttier. So one thing that really set it off for me, watching more content on this, was that this has internal stops, meaning that I can chop that flipper tab, which I'm absolutely going to do because I think the execution of that flipper tab is garbage. I mean, just take a look at that. Like, there was little to no effort put in when it came to the jimping. There's 2 jimps, and you would think, all right, 2 jimps, that may be a design choice, and the execution of it was just not good. The jimp should have been a lot sharper, a little bit coarser, but the tumbling of the finish that was put on the blade afterwards definitely rounded off and killed that bite that jimps would naturally have. Nice and crisp, right? They serve a purpose for a reason. Now, you can definitely like push button it, but I don't like that. That's just a personal thing, of course. I love studs. I think visually speaking, a flipper tab is just visually distracting and unappealing. So what I am going to do, for as of now, like, I think this thing feels incredible, and honestly, it's pretty darn great. That flipper tab is just, it has to go. So for sure, I'm gonna chop that, get rid of that, and just while I'm already, doing stuff to it, I'm actually gonna widen up that sharpening choil. The execution of the plunge grind seems pretty darn healthy. And now you can see that it is blended in rather well, so it's not a very crisp and abrupt plunge grind there. It's nice and soft. I just want to widen that up a little bit, just so I can sharpen this thing with a little less care, and get it back into my pocket a little bit faster, because I think this is something that I'm probably going to use quite a bit. I enjoy the disengagement. You can see there's so much room. Just take a look at how much space that is. This is nice and soft. It's not knocked down. I mean, it's not knocked down. It is very well knocked down actually, and super soft on the disengagement. Let me show you guys the percentage of engagement as well. And it's a little dark in here, but yeah, there's plenty of engagement. It feels super solid. No stick. Like that's so smooth pushing it over. I don't want to say effortless. It definitely feels like a thin inset steel liner, but yeah. So let's do something that I don't do too often on just unboxing videos. I know we're already almost at like 11 minutes, but just stick with me. I want to just get this over with. So let's take the weight. This thing does feel pretty dense for what it is. We're dealing with, you know, steel, micarta, more steel, and then titanium as well. If you can hear crunching, those are my dogs. They're crunching on kibble. 4.1, yeah, doesn't really bug me. Don't really feel too much about it, but it does feel pretty dense for what it is, and I'd understand why they didn't make a full titanium version of this. It also didn't sell well at all, so there were no different variations or iterations that came of it. Let's do some size comparisons. I actually brought out a couple knives that I thought off the top of my head might be in a similar range, but as you can see, I was way off and I have no idea what I'm talking about. So this is the full-size Sebenza, the 31 large. This is the Monocola Knives Assault Team Model 1, and it is actually the same exact length overall. And also I thought just bring this one out because I haven't shown this beautiful piece off this legendary knife right here. I'm joking, obviously, but if you know, you know. This thing's pretty sweet for the money. You can't buy it looking like this. I modified it, chopped the flipper tab, did the finish on the blade, anodizing skiffs as well in the pivot, and it's just freaking sweet. But my mistake on this was the first knife I ever removed a flipper tab from. This had a big old honking flipper tab stuck out like this freaking far, and what I should have done was I should have made the forward finger choil a little bit roomier, because naturally if I'm trying to like really grip this thing, I land right there, and that's me. That's 100% me, and I can go ahead and remove more material if I choose to do so, but I'm too lazy to do that anytime soon. But I can in the future if I have some time, which I won't. And then the last one is something that I recently made a ton of content with. This still is finding its way an ungodly amount of time in my pocket because it's just that good, even though I gave it plenty of crap in the review. This is the Cold Steel Knives FM1. This thing's just freaking sweet. A little funky looking, right? But Cold Steel fans don't really care about the look. It's all performance and strength, right? This thing definitely changes things up. Shakes the industry to its core. Cold Steel made a premium knife. Titanium, well heat treated, like really good heat treated S35VN. And I mean, just the execution of this, I'm very happy with this. But yeah, damn near the same size overall, so that's pretty sweet. I definitely do like that quite a bit. Now this is definitely spear pointy, drop pointy kind of thing, and it's essentially the same freaking blade shape. You get the tiniest bit more cutting edge, but chances are when I go to widen that up, I'm gonna remove just about that much of material, just cause. That's something that I would definitely enjoy doing. T8 for the pivot, looks to be T6 for the body screws and clip, and also to remove the studs. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. I want to show you guys something, and chances are you guys probably already know about this thing. So the liner lock isn't a typical liner lock. The engagement is not traditional. Looks kind of weird, and I think the name kind of gives it away. Coniferous V. I saw a picture of it a little while back, but it's like V-shaped in the liner itself, I believe it was. You can see the little rub marks already on the bead blast tie. Hopefully I won't need a second driver. Okay. Yeah, I mean, T6, I'm not crazy about them. No one is really, but I'm kind of losing the will to bitch about T6s anymore because it's just not going to change. Now, I will preach from the highest mountains when a designer and a company get together and create something beautiful, something perfect on Earth, and make a knife that has all T8s, because that is the right way. So, little to no Loctite. Love it. Love it. Everything should just kind of pop apart. And yeah, look at that. That's pretty wild. And that's something that's pretty cool too. Those are hardened steel races right there. And you can see that this is just a little sprung liner right here. There are two T6s holding it in with another stabilizing pin just for overall rigidity, making sure that this thing doesn't move at all in any direction but out, right? That's pretty wild, and I think that is absolutely contributing to the insane feel of this thing when it does lock up. Look at that. Now, double the amount of surface area, right? You see, as it's acting as a stop pin and a traditional spot as well. That's double the opportunity to fuck it up. They did it pretty right. This is cool. I don't know if this is specifically just for the designer, if it's like their patented thing and they let Kizer use it, but I would absolutely love to see this be done on something else as well. I think this would really intrigue a lot of people, really spice things up for people who want to get just a standard liner lock knife, right? There's nothing wrong with that. What is going on here? The detent hole is like, it's machined kind of weird. It's not a perfect circle. I didn't even bother checking if there was any play, but I'll reassemble it right now. You can see those are the stops right there. A little bit small, not a big deal. And yeah, so when I go to chop the flipper tab, I'm just gonna go, just straight down, avoid that flat spot right there. Yeah, so just straight down, and then take a Dremel and probably chop away like that much material. So everything that my fingernail's covering, I'm gonna open that up there, and this will all just be perfect blade material to just hog off, put a sick freaking edge on this, and just go to town, do some stupid stuff with this. I think that's what this thing is meant for. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this thing back together. As you can see, constructed very well for the money. Absolutely, there is little to no movement or gap when it comes to the fitment of the liner, and it's stonewashed as well to match the finish on the blade. That's cool. They didn't need to do that, yet they did. I appreciate that. I think that's a pretty cool little touch. But yeah, it is flush, absolutely flush. The only little gap I see is a tiny little gap right there. Whatever, not a big deal. Is everything in? Yeah. So I would love to put some skiffs in here, but I don't think I have the right size skiffs. Not that it really needs it. And I just noticed in a certain light right now that I just scratched the shit out of the titanium side already. Yeah, I'll put a scratch right there. Whatever. I think I'm really going to enjoy this thing, so it's probably not going to go anywhere. And it should be something that if I wanted to resurface it, put a wacky anno color, I'm sure I could do that as well in the future. But yeah, this is I think comfortably This is all of like $65-$70 worth, but up to $100, I think that's just a little much. Not crazy. If you like how it looks, you're going to be very happy with how it's constructed overall. The feel in hand, the action is insane. But if you're not in love with it, you probably are going to be the same boat as me and just won't justify the price, as it is when they first put it out. And I'm trying to screw these T6s down with the T8 like a genius. Just blabbing away. Imagine if people just made knife content and just stayed quiet the whole time. Kind of awkward. Let me put this driver in here. Okay, there we go. So steel hardware, and I didn't bother checking if the clip is steel or titanium. Chances are it's steel as well. I don't have a magnet at the moment. Can I feel? Oh yeah, it does. It does actually feel a little sticky. So yeah, steel clip, not a big deal. If I really wanted to do anything with the hardware, I could always like semi-polish them up a little bit and then torch them to get some blurples, some goldy bronze. I think that'd be cool. But realistically, for what I'm thinking about an anode color, just to put my little sprinkle of spice on this, I'm probably just gonna mess around with the titanium lock side. You can flip this too. That's cool. I like that. I definitely like that quite a bit. And as you saw earlier, I was able to comfortably flick this left-handed, so that's not too bad. That stud is very tight to the scale. There's like little to no room, but the studs have a good bit of texture to get a decent grip out of them and push off comfortably. Yeah, that's good. That's real good, actually. Oh yeah, dude, that's pretty darn nice. Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's not that tight. I personally wouldn't complain about that because it is tuned so well. Yeah, I don't have to really put much into that to get it out. Okay. Did I already crank down the pivot all the way? No, I did not. Okay, so now after I messed with it, now we have a little bit tighter action and the tiniest bit of lock stick. Not the end of the world. That's something that could easily, be remedied, of course. Let me check out that detent, if that weird milling was gonna do anything to this. No, it's fine. It feels solid. It feels really solid. Yeah, that flipper tab is just, it's horrible. It really is horrible. But those studs, man, those studs save it. Absolutely. They could be a little bit bigger. Yeah, the studs could be a little bit bigger. Not the end of the world. They are comfortable enough to reverse flick. It is very tight to reverse flick. I can't get my nail under there. Not that I have a nail. I'm gonna cut my nail short. But from the skin of my finger, let's see. Got it. Not comfortable at all doing it like that, but thumbs all day. Yes for thumbs, absolutely. So lefties can enjoy this. Wait, can you? Oh, why is that so hard? I can't. What? It's not like I can put any external pressure on this because it's a liner lock. Is my middle finger just that inferior on my left side than my right side? Yep. I'm sure the wife would agree as well. Wow. Yeah, I'm completely blown away of how different this actually feels. Side to side, beautiful, up and down. Like, just this thing, it doesn't even know what up and down is. That's insane. Yeah, this thing's pretty sweet. I'm very happy with my pickup. Am I gonna have to do a little bit of work into it to make it my own and a little bit more enjoyable? Yeah, sure, but I don't mind. When I got some time, I'll work on it. and I'm sure I'll share with you guys my results on my Instagram as well. I have a new Instagram account if anybody's interested. I'm trying to get as many people from one side on YouTube to my Instagram because I want to just tie things together a little bit more neatly, I suppose. Now the Instagram name is NIC Bladeworks. There's no special meaning to it. It's just my initials. That's all it is. NIC Bladeworks. And the little logo, my wife actually, she doodled it up, and yeah, that's it. Really all I'm promoting there is just cool knives, metal music. That's it. No political bullshit, no outside of the knife hobby stuff, no personal stuff. I just want to keep it professional. I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate that as well. And that's it. Some knife sharpening services, I do that as well. If anyone's interested, let me know. I am very cheap and very affordable. And also customization services, simple stuff, nothing super crazy. I'm not there yet with certain techniques and finishes and all. I'm very limited what I can do, but what I can do, I do it very well, and I'm proud to say that. So yeah, a little bit longer than it needed to be. We're at 26 minutes and some change, but I like this thing. I think it's pretty cool. It's absolutely gonna go into my pocket directly right now. If we flicked around the house, I'm gonna annoy the animals, the wife, and going to work tomorrow. That little thing sticking up there, weird. Visually it's weird, but whatever, not a big deal. Do one of those little thingies right there. All right, that's it. If you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your patience, of course. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing because I put more videos and content coming your guys' way. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.